If you haven't seen Jack Mahler's podcast, it's really great. He's doing a nice job, and his clarity of thought is really fantastic in the way he can put things in perspective. Jack's the CEO of Strike and a new company that's going to hold Bitcoin and sell bonds based off of it. And it's something that I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to show a clip of him talking about how inflation and the dollar debasement causes people to have to work two jobs, basically one job to earn money and then a second job to try and keep that money. And it's something that I've lived through in my life. So I got a job a couple decades ago, and I've held that job since then. And when I started, I had a really good wage, could afford a lot, a decent middle class lifestyle. And then every year I've gotten small wage increases, but nowhere near to keep up with inflation. And now I'm basically lower class just because of the inflation has pushed me down. And so it's not fair. I mean, they've offshored manufacturing in the US, and they've printed our dollar into oblivion. And so now, just to make ends meet, they're expecting us to work multiple jobs. And I think that's nonsense. And Jack kind of sums it up here. So let's take a look at this video.
It's very freeing in that way. Like almost everyone in the world has two jobs. They have their job every day, and then they have the job of like trying to persist their time and energy and effort, and like they become an investing expert where like everyone gets off work and has a Robinhood account, and they're like, okay, the Japanese bond yields and central banks and the 10-year treasury, and they're like picking stocks, and they've got different indexes and portfolios just to try and make sure they can afford a house someday, just to try and make sure they don't work 40 years and have nothing to show for it when they try and retire. So it's not offensive or defensive for me. Proof of work. It's just like how I store my effort.
I mean, he sums it up very nicely there. So everybody, even if they get like a decent job, if they stay in that job with only incremental raises every year, they're going to be underwater in, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And it's just this slow slope, and most people don't notice it, but why can't I? I'm always struggling. And so it's like they took our manufacturing base, shipped it offshore, then they printed our dollar into oblivion, and then they tell us, well, if you can't make ends meet, then just go get a second job. No, that's not how it should be. Like, why do we have to work exponentially harder just to keep up? And that's where Bitcoin can make the most sense.